Welcome inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the heart of Georgia, the site of a dominant Peach Bowl win from your Indiana Hoosiers, 56-22, 35-7 at the halftime break. D'Angelo Pond started this game with a pick six that sent the roof off of the place in a 95% IU crowd.
Yeah, easily.
Eli, it was barbecue chicken from there. It was unbelievable what we saw. I'm speechless.
I think dominant is kind of an understatement in this game, and you kind of go back to how we talked throughout the week of we expect a competitive, close game.
Yeah.
Shows how dumb we are. I think everyone and their mom thought that this would be a very close game, but it just goes to show that Indiana does everything on all three phases to perform the way that they do. And now it's just getting into a point of, can anyone even beat them at this point? I mean, we kind of talk about this could be a team that's in the conversation of being one of the best football teams in college football of all time. In every aspect that you can imagine, they prove it week in and week out. And opponents that they take on, they take their will from them.
Yeah.
They keep it from them. And now it's like every team is, licking their chops to get a shot at the Hoosiers, and then only to leave completely defeated.
And they're just not fazed by anything. And there's no stress in these games. They just execute at a flawless level that, I'm just speechless. From that pick six, then they just matriculate their way down the field. Surratt's involved. Becker's involved. Fernando Mendoza, only 3 or 4 incompletions?
Yep,
3 incompletions.
2 last week
It's
against
unbelievable.
Alabama.
And we heard Dan Lanning talk all week about taking care of the football. They didn't do that last time in the regular season. How about 3 turnovers and scoring 21 points off of those turnovers? They take your will.
Yep.
It's so impressive to watch, and this game just wasn't close.
And we've seen so many games where Indiana has outgained their opponents in terms of yardage. That wasn't even the case here. Oregon actually had more yards, but those turnovers were the key thing. And then to be able to capitalize the way that Mendoza runs that offense, and the so many weapons that he has to go to, that's just talking about throwing the football, running the football. Kaelon Black, Roman Hemby, Kobe Martin even got a couple of big gains in this game. So everywhere you look, you look at it and you put a green check mark to every single player on this roster. They've delivered week in and week out, 15-0. My goodness, 56 points in a college football semifinal. That's it. It's us doing this the entire time.
Right. We're looking at each other. It's 35-7 and a half. What do you say? It's just Oregon was defeated, man. You could see it on their faces. Dan Lanning was upset, and rightfully so. I mean, this team has no weaknesses. I think, and so quickly, Eli, it went from, okay, cute story, great turnaround. Okay, they're really good. Okay, they just beat Ohio State. They beat Bama by 35 and Oregon by 34, and they're playing for a national championship.
Yeah,
to one of the best teams we've ever seen.
Absolutely.
This is serious.
In 2 games in the college football playoff, they've outscored their opponents by a combined 69 points, which is just remarkable.
Unreal.
And it all started with teams who got the bye were never able to make it to the next round. Indiana, throw that out the door. We'll be the first one to do that. And then to come in here and take on a team that was seeking revenge, that had all the motivation in the world to come in here and get a victory. Not. Signetti says no thank you.
And you said 6 different players scored a touchdown.
6 different players scored a touchdown in this game.
It's just absolutely unbelievable. We got the Heisman winner, Fernando Mendoza, finally exiting the field. This guy's like the Beatles, Taylor Swift, and Caitlin Clark all in one right now. It's absolutely unbelievable. I don't know what else we can say. I want you to hear from the Hoosiers after this game. And we had the opportunity to talk to a lot of these players on the field, one-on-one after the game, on what going to a national championship for Indiana University means to them. Here with the Peach Bowl champ, Aiden Fisher, captain of this defense. Aiden, you're going to the national championship. What's this mean to you in this program?
It means we got one more opportunity to take advantage of. We're going to take the next 24 hours to enjoy this one. We have a huge challenge coming up with Miami in Miami. But, man, I'm so proud of this team. I'm so proud of these coaches and this staff. I owe it all to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. We wouldn't be here without him. But special team, and, we play so hard for each other and with each other. I think it just shows every time we step on the field.
We talked last week about taking the will of your opponent and coming out hot against Alabama. You did it again here tonight. What does that say about this team and just your focus from the first play to play 150 like your coach says all the time?
We're relentless at all times. It doesn't matter what the score is. It's 0-0 to us every single time we step on the field. I told the guys at halftime, this is a great team. They've come back from deficits like this. We had to come out hot, foot on the gas and, finish this thing the right way. We let up some sloppy plays there. but we'll clean it up. But I'm just really proud of this team, this offense, this defense, special teams. Everybody was playing at a high level today, and it's just great to be a part of.
First impressions of playing Miami at Hard Rock Stadium for a national championship.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be competitive. Two great teams that are deserving of the moment. I'll get into my film breakdown, and I'll let you know some more details. But right now, I'm just going to enjoy this one, and we'll get started on them tomorrow.
Back here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, IU Peach Bowl champs going to the national championship. When I say that, you're going to play for a national championship. What's that mean to you?
Man, shout out to the man above, man. Like, I can't thank him enough. It's crazy just coming from where I came from, starting at SFU, being now playing for a national championship. It doesn't get any better than this. I'm appreciative of all these little moments. It's my last year. I'm glad I got one more week with my boys. We got to put a lot of work into this week going in to play a great Miami team.
So like Fernando Mendoza and Elijah Surratt were on the same page from the very first play here tonight. What can you say about your performance and your quarterback's performance?
Man, I ran some decent routes, and Fernando just put that ball on point like he does all the time. Like, I wouldn't want no other quarterback to play with. That boy's a dog.
What does it mean to you to have the best season in Indiana history right now? Even though I know the job's not finished, you got one more. But what's that mean to you?
Man, it's good so far, but yeah, like, it doesn't really mean too much if we don't finish it how we want to finish it.
All right, Miami at Hard Rock Stadium for a national championship. What are your first impressions?
Man, they're a great team. I was watching the game last night. They're a great team. It's going to be a hard one, especially being at their home place. So we just got to have a great week of practice to put ourselves in the best position.
Awesome. Peach Bowl champs, this is D'Angelo Pons. Not a bad way to start the Peach Bowl. Definitely. I mean, take me through that play. A pick six to get this place rocking.
It was a great feeling to catch the ball and get it to the end zone as a defensive player. It's always something you dream of. But even in a game just as big as this, with our fans in the crowd, it's just a surreal feeling. Almost like I blacked out at the moment. Like, it was just a great feeling.
Could you hear the fans as you were running into the, take me through that. I got chills just watching it.
Yeah, definitely got chills running through my veins. I didn't even know what to do. Like, just hearing the fans just cheer. And on the first play of the game, I feel like that's something you couldn't ask for anymore.
What does it mean to be a part of this team that's so special this season?
It's honestly an unreal feeling, a special feeling. Everybody bought in. We had a great group of guys. It's honestly something going to be legendary when we look back on it, and we just got to finish the goal.
All right, Miami at Hard Rock Stadium for a national championship. What do you think?
That's home. I'm from Miami.
Right.
Against Miami, it's just definitely going to be a great one. They're a great team. We're a great team, and it's going to be a great one.
Here with Pat Coogan, after IU wins the Peach Bowl, you're going to a national championship. What are you feeling?
Just blessed and excited. We've earned the right, but we got to continue to earn the right and put in the work.
What can you say about your offensive performance, your team performance from play 1 to 150, like Coach Signetti says all the time? You guys took their will again.
Yeah, really proud of the group. It's a team sport, it's a team game, and we put that on the field. We're at our best when we're playing together.
Miami for a national championship. What are your first impressions?
Very excited. Everyone knows how great of a defense that is. It's going to be a great challenge for us and one we got to step up to.
So obviously those guys are fired up to put Indiana in the national title game in Miami, against Miami. It's going to be a lot of fun. Curt Cignetti and Fernando Mendoza on the podium, and D'Angelo Pons, the defensive MVP, fired up, no question about it. Job's not finished, though.
It's a great win against a really good football team. Really proud of our players, our staff. It all started with Pons' pick six, and then they put a nice drive together, had us off balance a little bit, but we responded with a score, and then created some turnovers on defense. We capitalized on offense, and that was the story of the first half. Scoring early in the second half and distancing ourselves helped. Got a couple guys nicked in some areas we're thin on defense, which was concerning, but it's a great win.
All right. Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. We'll start right here on the left, midway on the left side, please.
Pat Forty from Sports Illustrated, Free Sig down the middle here. Your ability to keep finding guys to make plays, and Duke Way tonight, I mean, just the way he played and just the number of guys you're getting contributions from now.
Yeah, I think when you have good people and they buy in and they prepare the right way, we have a lot of those kind of guys, and they're high character, smart guys that can play. And, Coach Haynes puts them in position to make plays and put the offense in conflict and attacks. And on the other side of the ball, too, and special teams as well, we've been very consistent in all three phases.
All right, right here, front row on the right.
Hi, Coach. AP Stedham, AP as we see it. Coach, what were you trying to negate with their team and execute with your team?
I'm sorry, say it again.
What were you trying to negate with their team and execute with your team?
Well, to me, every game is the same. You got, line of scrimmage. You got to win line of scrimmage. You got to be able to run the ball, stop the run, affect the quarterback, protect the quarterback. Then the turnover ratio, which was huge in this game. We're number one in the country and in that. And those turnovers in the first half led to 21 points. Explosive plays, and then you got to be good in critical situations, 3rd and 4th down, 2 minute. And special teams always needs to be a win, or at least a draw.
All right, front row on the left.
Yeah, Jeff Rabjohnspeaks.com. Fernando, this is for you. Your thoughts on what not only what you've accomplished, but what you've given to Hoosier Nation, this ride that now goes on to the national championship game.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. Hoosier Nation has given myself and the coaching staff here has given myself so much great opportunity. Told me a year ago, I believe a year ago today or the day before was actually the day I arrived on campus, after transferring. And so Hoosier Nation and the coaching staff and just the entire sports staff has given myself so much opportunity here and so much belief in my character and my play. And as not only as a player, also as a leader, I'm forever in debt.
All right, second row on the right here.
Stan Beckton, NCAA.com. Fernando, this is for you. So you'll be playing in the national championship game in Miami. What does it mean for you to be able to play this game for the first time in your collegiate career in your hometown?
Yeah, I think playing a national championship will get anybody fired up and definitely, stir up some emotions. However, for myself, I believe that it's going to be, a great game. The Hurricanes are, a fantastic team led by a great coach and Coach Cristobal. And so I think it's really just playing our brand of football, playing the Indiana Hoosiers football, that even though it's a national championship, we don't got to do anything that's out of character. We just got to play our brand of football, and that's what has led us to this point in 15 wins this season.
All right, next year, halfway on the right.
Tom Brew, Roundtable Sports. Fernando, in your first 2 playoff games here, have 8 touchdown passes and only 5 incompletions. And tonight you threw touchdown passes to 4 different guys. What does it say about not only your accuracy throwing and finding guys, but also just how these plays have been getting schemed up to get guys open?
Yeah, I would say I've came a long way from, being here in January, being game 1. Like game 1, I threw 0 touchdown passes. I was trying to be Superman, and then the coaching staff settled me down. I was like, hey, you don't got to be Superman. We have a great defense and a great superstars, playmakers, and offensive line on offense. So just do your job. So my job is to be effective with making, really accurate balls and really great decisions. And that's what I pride myself on every single play. And so I'm glad those results have came. However, none of that matters. All that matters right now is the national championship.
All right, next question, all the way in the back on the platform.
Joe Cronin for iOS TV Sports. For both players, guys that are 21, 22 years old, they chase instant gratification and kind of just ride with that. You two, and then along with really this whole team, reach these high highs, but you're able to reset. Just how are you able to week in, week out as you approach a national championship game?
I feel like it stems down from the coach's mindset. Coach Sig does a great job keeping us steady, keeping us moving 1 week at a time. We take things 1 week at a time, success nor failure. We don't look back at it, and we just keep moving forward.
Yeah, I would say delayed gratification is a concept that, was brought up by Stoicism and by the Stoics, and I think it's one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest attributes. If you're able to have delayed gratification, discipline in yourself and discipline in your process and preparation, you're able to execute every single week like, this play or this game is the national championship game. Like, this game is the most important thing. And so I think that a lot of players and a lot of coaches and just everybody in Bloomington has done a great job of, upholding that concept of delayed gratification and discipline throughout all aspects of our lives. When there's a lot of distractions, and, especially with the Big Ten championship and, the Heisman and all the other things, I think our team has done a great job of keeping that delayed gratification at the forefront.
All right, over here on the right, halfway.
Dana O'Neill with CNN. Coach Zig, I just wanted to ask you about, defensively, obviously you've got players doing great things, but how much does Coach Haynes' ability to kind of create schematic confusion factor into what your defense is able to do?
No, I think it's a huge part. It's hard to put a percentage on because the players make the plays. But they're well coached and they've got a lot of repetition stemming from spring ball, fall camp. But our philosophy is to attack, and we are moving a lot of pieces in the front 7. And we've always been top 5 in the country against the run, TFLs and sacks, and that's just our philosophy on how to play defense.
All right, right behind on the right.
Jay Busby, Yahoo Sports. Fernando, this did not sound like a neutral site game. What impact did the crowd have on you tonight?
Yeah, the crowd had a fantastic impact, and shout out to Hoosier Nation for being here. We played at Autzen Stadium, Week 5. I believe I probably had 5 or 6 pre-snap penalties.
7.
Oh, 7. 7. 7 pre-snap penalties, as Coach Signetti just stated. Like that's huge. That's huge, especially that's one of the ways that you're able to lose a game. And I think that not having to go on silent count because of Hoosier Nation being here and making them go on silent count is a huge aspect of the game and the offensive operation that's not talked about enough. So shout out to Hoosier Nation because going on silent count, especially against the Ducks, is always tough. And making the other team go on silent count, I mean that might have as well account for some points.
Front row here on the left.
Chrissy Freud, USA Today. Kurt, can you just evaluate Fernando's performance? And Fernando, what do you feel like went right for you tonight?
I thought he was incredible. He was great. I also thought our receivers made some nice contested catches. I thought Surratt was on fire. Charlie Becker made some big plays. EJ and Cooper got in the act as well. And when it wasn't there, Fernando used his legs. I mean, he was on top of the game, and it was a huge difference, his performance in this football game.
Yeah, I would say that it was a great team effort. There's a lot of contested catches. Charlie Becker's touchdown, Elijah Surratt, making contested catches all over the field. Omar Cooper and EJ, they were getting open all game, and to be able to throw with those guys, I'm just like a point guard out there. I'm just throwing to the open guy, and they shoot the threes, and I get the glory and the fame, but those guys are the ones that make those shots that make the threes. And there's still a lot, although the scoreboard doesn't show it, there's still a lot that I got to improve on, like footwork. There was a protection check I missed, and there's a ball that I want to have back. So there's always things to improve, and especially for the national championship game, I think it's important not to dwell on the past. Oh, it was a great performance. This is a national championship, and for this next week, for myself, I don't think there's any time to celebrate because this is what everybody dreams of, and I'm gonna put every ounce of my body into preparation going into this next game.
All right, back over here to the right side.
Serena Raboyne, WHAS 11. D'Angelo, you talked about changing up your looks after watching the film. What did you see on that pick 6, and did you change a look up?
Actually, I did. I usually we play a lot of cover 3, so I'll press bail it. Coming out, I kind of knew it was an RPO type of deal. I played off so I could break on the ball. Kind of just read his eyes and got a good jump on it, and it was just an amazing feeling just walking into the end zone.
Go ahead, Dan.
Kurt, hey, Dan Walken from Yahoo Sports. Coming off these 2 playoff performances you've had, what do the next 10 days look like, you think, to try to maintain the level of play that you guys have had in the playoff?
Right. Well, we'll put the best preparation schedule together, try to keep it as normal as possible. We'll have an extra day regardless of what we decide to do. And the reason we are where we are is because we prepared the right way. And that's why we've been able to meet the challenge and put it on the field. So we got 10 days. Everybody will be off tomorrow. And then Sunday, I'm leaning toward players off Sunday as well. We'll have a couple official visits on campus. And then be back at it on Monday.
All the way front row on the right.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. This is for the 3 of you. For the student athletes, you believed in the mission for Coach Sig to come to Indiana and see this through. Now you're going to the national championship. Coach, you believed in these gentlemen to come in and be a part of this movement. So just what each of you can say about believing in each other to the point of getting to the national championship.
I would say, from my perspective, I feel like I believe since day one. Trusted this guy. If I didn't believe, I wouldn't have came here. I feel like I didn't know. I knew we were going to be successful. Honestly, couldn't ask for this. Didn't think we were going to a national championship, but knew I trusted in him and trusted his process, and I knew we were going to be successful.
Yeah, it's been a great journey, I believe, for all of us. And I still remember when I was in the transfer portal, Coach Signetti said, hey, if you're going to come here, you're going to develop into a hell of a quarterback. And it wasn't about, at that point, hey, we're going to promise you a national championship. It was, going to develop and have that belief, means a lot to myself. And I think I've been able to see myself, the offense, the entire team grow throughout. And so I just think it means a lot that, although social media before the year is like, oh, Cinderella story, we all had that internal belief in the facility behind closed doors. And I believe that's what helped us propel us to this moment.
Well, I think without question, these are 2 key cogs in the machine. But, we have great people upstairs and downstairs. The assistant coaches do a great job of preparing these guys for game day. And downstairs we got
a lot of veteran guys that have strong character, very intelligent, and they can play. And the bottom line really in this business is you got to get everybody thinking alike. And if you can get everybody thinking alike, focused on the same thing, you can accomplish anything.
All right, we got time for a few more. We'll go second row on the right here.
Stand back to NCAA.com. Fernando, this is for you. So you do have experience against your next opponent, Miami. You played them last year. What do you remember about that game, and how do you think that could help you potentially next week?
Yeah, so they did switch defensive coordinators, and last year was with a very different offensive schematic as well. However, it was a tight game. They had Cam Ward, who's fantastic, ended up being the #1 overall pick, and that game came down to the wire, and it was, I remember, running on a third down, getting knocked out by Wesley Bistain. I hope I say the last name right. I know I definitely. Yeah. Bistain, yeah. I apologize for that. But, I mean, he's a great player, and so I remember getting knocked out there, and we lost by 1 point, and it was heartbreaking. So, just looking forward to the opportunity to play him again.
All the way back on the left.
RJ Young, Fox Sports. Coach, this is for you. Odds of Indiana winning the national championship preseason were 100-1. What should they be going into this game against Miami?
Well, you all have a job to do. And a lot of times you'll piggyback off somebody else's story or belief, and there's pressure to get it nowadays with the internet, get the story out there. And a lot of those people really don't know our team. They don't know what we're made of, what we got, and I get it. There was a lot of skepticism after last year that we were a fluke. That team did a lot of great things and got it all started. That team never trailed till the 9th game of the year. And when it did, 10-0 in the first quarter up at Michigan State, they scored 47 straight. I think a lot of that negative stuff in the media fueled the guys returning from this team, and we added some real key pieces, the main one sitting right here on my left, but other ones as well. Great leaders, great players. And we've just built off our successes, and we've won some big games on the road, and it helps when you have a quarterback play his best football when the game's on the line in the fourth quarter. And so, here we are.
All right, 3/4 of the way back on the right.
Luke Brenneman, IUS TV Sports. Coach, do you mind touching on the decision to get D'Angelo the ball on the offensive end? And then Fernando, what was it like throwing it to a guy that you're typically playing against?
I can actually take credit for that one. I still sit in on the offensive meetings, but I don't call the plays anymore, and haven't for about 9 years. But it was a play that matched up well against their defense on 3rd and 2. We thought we could also use it in medium, and D'Angelo's probably the best start-stop guy, and he's got speed. And I thought it'd be a nice little change-up pitch.
Yeah, I mean, especially against man teams. I mean, you saw it's basically on the same play Jeremiah Smith ran in the national championship last year against Notre Dame, and D'Angelo. I mean, you saw him pick 6. His start-stop is incredible, if not the best in the nation. So to be able to have him, run that, and I'd throw it in man coverage, and it was man coverage. So at that point I need to put the ball in the vicinity of D'Angelo, because although he's a defensive back, he has fantastic ball skills. He has great hands. He could be a receiver. He has such great hands. So it was kind of like just an extended handoff to him. And I mean, not only is he great change of direction, great hands, he's also the fastest player on our team too. So that helps with the first down.
All right, we're going to take a couple more right here on the right.
Mara Carey, AP Sports. Fernando, can you just talk about, you've touched on it, but how much of a full circle moment this is for you, going back to your hometown? Have you played in Hard Rock before? What does this mean to you?
I've actually not played in Hard Rock before, but I've been to a lot of games there. And, I mean, it's a very full circle moment for myself. If you open Google Maps and put my address to the University of Miami campus, it's under a mile away. And I, walk there, bike there, play basketball rec games in the offseason there. And it means a lot to me. However, I think the national championship means a lot to everybody. So I wouldn't want it any other way, on a great stage that the Indiana Hoosiers are going to have to, compete their butt off. They're a great team, and really looking forward to the opportunity.
All right, over here on the left.
Lorenzo Delgado, Arskina Media. Fernando, this is for you. Heading to the national championship first time, as well as Mario Cristobal, the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. 2 Latinos going at the national stage. I mean, what does this do for the Latino community?
Yeah, it does a lot. I think it puts it in the forefront and in the light, and I think we've seen Latinos in football, it's been growing, and every single year you hear about more Latinos like Jacob Rodriguez, great Latino from Texas Tech, and I think it's just a really good path to just, making football, more diverse and inclusive. And I think it's great. I mean, Mario Cristobal played with my dad in high school, And so I do know him, and I think it's just going to be a great opportunity for both teams.
All right, we'll take our final question halfway back on the left.
Tom Moak, Independent Media. Fernando, D'Angelo, you don't play this completed game without a tremendous week of practice. Just curious if you could shine a light on a couple of your teammates that did a great job getting you ready, and what they did and what that meant to the output on the field.
I would say scout team does a great job giving us a good look all week during practice. I feel like they challenge us. We actually get better from going against the scout team. I feel like our coaches also do a good job of putting together a game plan for us. Each week they put us in the right positions, and we kind of just buy into what they're saying and trust in what they're saying, and I feel like that's what makes us successful.
Yeah, I think the week of practice and scout team does a fantastic job with all the GAs, getting all those guys in the right positions and the right looks. And a lot of the looks that we had on scout team showed up today. And I think that was great, scouting by the coaching staff and by the GAs to really, put that in the pudding so we're able to execute it today. And then also just guys like the whole entire offensive line, like Pat Coogan and Ryan Nowakowski, the tight end. Those guys really just get us energy and juice because, our practices are fast and they're short. And so a lot of people can, tend to maybe be a little tired, but we need intense energy throughout the entire week of prep. And those are two guys and two captains of the offense that did a fantastic job really motivating our guys, whether it was, the first play of scout team or it was the last play.
And we have another Miami guy here returning to Miami, don't we, Pawns?
Yep.
D'Angelo actually picked me off in high school in a Miami game.
Is there a story behind that we need to hear?
He's a really good player, and he picked me off. I mean, it was a slant route against man, but I mean, against this guy, it's tough, and I'm thankful to be on his team now. So it's a good full circle moment for both of us to play on the same team now.
Not sure what else there is to really say, except it's going to be an interesting time in Miami. We were looking this up. I don't know if we saw a college team who played a national championship at their home stadium. That's a really remarkable thing that's transpiring here. Miami playing IU at their home stadium for a national championship. With how well IU's traveled, I'm hard-pressed to say they'll be outnumbered, but it is a home game for Miami.
I know, it's going to be
tough.
tough.
What do you expect? I don't know.
I expect the storylines to be through the roof.
Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza's family's down there. He played his high school ball down there. Obviously, Miami, the whole Carson Beck situation, that him coming in here, obviously getting into the playoff over Notre Dame this year. This is all a big thing,
the right
too.
choice, clearly.
But we've made it this far. We've made it to the end of the line. Now let's play 60 more minutes of football to see who wins the national championship, Hoosiers or Hurricanes.
And I have to imagine the Hoosiers are favorites. I mean,
Got
with
to.
this type of performance, back-to-back performances like that. D'Angelo Pons, also from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
What a time it's going to be on January 19th. We will be there bringing you the coverage on the beach. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Miami
I'm down with
Vice,
that.
Will
Yeah.
Smith, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've had a ton of fun covering this Indiana football team and just what they've been able to do for this central Indiana, Bloomington community, the state of Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome stuff.
It
It's Eli
is.
Gain. I'm Dominic Miranda. IU is, in fact, turning the college football world upside down. See you next time.